So good morning guys, welcome back to Phylum Predicts. I'm your Phylum admin, and as usual we are here to bring you the predictions for 11th of October 2024, which should be on a Friday. So today we are going to do things a little bit different. We are going to share with you 11 super predictions. This does not really mean that we only analyze 11 games throughout the day. Not really. We actually data fed and analyze 30 games, but the difference with the other day is what we have done today is we have chosen from the automated version of the relations. You see, so the automated version of the relations is what has given us these predictions. It actually gave us around 20 predictions, but we went on to filter a few of them and we actually came up with 11 predictions. Why have we done this? We have done this because we noticed through in the walkthroughs that we are actually having recently, walking through some of these games, and actually off late we have been having a very weird football environment where most games do not actually score a lot of goals, you see, and major leagues are the only place that we are finding these goals, but most games in the under leagues we are not finding a lot of goals, you see. So from our predictions, from the data set that we from the relations that we actually have, some of them tells us that we are going to find the goals, but they do not actually end up getting the goals through the walkthrough. But if we use the automated version of our relation, we actually try to see some of the predictions that are constantly happening in real life. You see, some of the relations that constantly keep giving, and that's the reason as to why we want to use the automated version and filter a few of them so that we can give you now the super predictions. All right, so having explained that, I think now we can go into today's predictions. Let's go into the predictions that we have. And in the first game, we've got in Croatia, we've got Radnik Sesvet versus Bijelo. In this game we expect a 2-0 possible scoreline. Those are total of 2. Right to this second relation, you expect a 2 goal in total in that game, and you expect a 2-0 possible scoreline as well. They all coincide to that point. Right to the conceding rate, we are expecting a 1-1 conceding rate. What does that 1-1 conceding rate tell us? It tells us that the game, the two teams have got relatively lower conceding rates, but relatively equal as well, you see. So if a team 1 has to score, then if team 2 takes the chances, they might as well score in that game. What scorelines do we also expect? We expect a 1-0 possible scoreline and a 2-0 possible scoreline. Let's go to the relations. We've got no relation for the 100%. As you can see right here, we've got none for the 90%. And if we go to the 80%, we've got 2 over 1.5 relations for the 80% relations. That relation itself is a little bit sacred. We normally use them a lot and actually confirm from most of our videos when we found the 2 over 1.5 relation for the 80%, that gives us the over 1.5. Usually just go for the 1.5, but you also have to check if there's a possibility of having goals in that game. So what other things backs the idea that we are going to expect goals in this game? The other thing that backs that idea is the fact that team 1 has got a relatively better halftime performance, and it also concedes relatively higher, though it has conceded not that much, but has been scoring some good goals in the first half. As you can see right here, at the end of that game, the amount of games that we had the over 1.5s were 1, 2, 3. So 3 games out of 5 had the over 1.5, and only 2 of them didn't get the over 1.5. So, but there were goals in those games as well. So we are going to expect 2 goals, at least 2 goals in this game, and we can as well go with full time 1, but let's just pick the sacred prediction that we have, which is the over 1.5, and close for that game as it is. All right, so that game, Radnik Sesvet, we expect the over 1.5 in that game. All right, sure. Let's go to the next game. So in the next game, we've got in Slovenia, we've got Tolmin versus NK Brinje. This game we expect a 0-2 possible scoreline. This is in favor of team 2. Right to the second relation, you expect 2 goals and 0-2 possible scoreline as well. They concede up to that point. Right to the conceding rate, you see we expect a 1-2 conceding rate. This conceding rate is also something that you almost say it's sacred, but don't get us wrong, guys. When we say sacred, we mean that it performs relatively very well over time, but not really perfect, but it performs very well. All right, so the other thing that can give us a little bit of an edge in this prediction is the team that we actually expect to concede relatively higher with 2 goals is the one that we actually expected to score in that game. All right, if a team that concedes relatively high is the one that has to score, what about the team that concedes relatively low? If it actually has to attack and actually try to find the net, we are actually going to see the goals in that game. So both team to score in that game could be possible, but let's first check in these relations. We've got no relation for the 100%, neither do we have for the 90s, as you can see right here, but we have got as well 2 over 1.5 relations for the 80%. So these are two sacred relations that gives us actually a very good return rate. So we are actually just going to take the over 1.5 also for this prediction. All right, for this game. All right, so for this game in Slovenia, we're going to take the over 1.5. Could be with the possibility of having the both team to score in that game as well, and that is enough. Why have we even picked the both team to score? We've actually even picked the both team to score because at home probably team 1 might score, but just take the over 1.5 is much safer, right? Much safer to take the over 1.5 than taking the both team to score. We're actually just going to take the both team to score because team 2 concedes relatively higher than team 1. You see? Yep. So that is it. Let's go to the next game. So in that game, we still have in Slovenia, we've got NK Aluminij versus MNK FC Ljubljana. That game, we expect a 3-1 scoreline. There's a total of 3. These 2-1 scoreline, a total of 3. Right, you expect 2 goals and a 2-1 scoreline as well. What do you expect to the conceding rate? You expect a 1-0 conceding rate, relatively lower, and team 2 seems to be very good in defense, but generally both of them are very good in defense. But you expect goals in that game. What do you expect? You expect a 2-3 possible scoreline and a 2-1 possible scoreline. Right to the relation, you've got 2 over 1.5 relations, a both team to score, and over 2.5 and a double chance 1 or 2 in that game. What do you also expect? To the 90%, you expect an over 1.5 relation, and when we come here to the 80% relation, we expect 3 over 1.5s, 2 both team to score, and 2 double chance 1 or 2, and an over 2.5 relation for the 80%. So in this game, we could go for the goals, but see, guys, what we are seeing is that these teams have got a very good defensive record because they have been conceding relatively lower, but they've got equal capability, almost equal capability. So if a team has to score, then the other team has to score. And the other thing that might give us the chance to see the goals in this game is the idea that there is contradicting information at the expected goals. At the expected goals in this, the first one, you expect a 2-3 possible scoreline, and that one which is in favor of team 2 actually. In the next expected goal, you expect a 2-1 possible scoreline, which is in favor of team 1. So the contradicting information right there also gives us an edge to see the idea that the over 1.5, as you've been told in the 100%, the both team to score, the over 2.5 could be possible. And another thing that backs the idea is the fact that these teams has been scoring. These two teams have been scoring and have got a very good scoring record, both at home and the other one at away. You see, so having scored in one of those games, scoring 2 goals, you see, and this one scoring around 2 goals, and almost in all games they score. This one, only 2 games they didn't manage to score, but in this home team there were 2 games that they actually scored in all those games, and actually majority of those games went on the over 1.5, but only 2 did not manage did not go. Actually, all of them went to over 1.5. All of them went to over 1.5, but only 2 did not manage to go the over 2.5 way. You see, also this other side, only 2 did not manage to go the over 2.5, but 3 and as well only 2 did not manage to go the over 1.5. So we might as well expect goals in this game, and let's take the over 1.5 as the leader. That's the backbone for this prediction. You can't take the both team to score because we might expect both of them to actually score, and the idea that we expect someone winning in that game, the double chance on or 2, and if we expect someone winning that game and we also expect both team to score, it means we automatically expect over 2.5. all right, so that's the prediction for that game. So to this fourth game, we've got in Lithuania, we've got FK Garliava versus Hegelman. In this game we expect 2-1 possible scoreline. That's a total of 3 right there. Going to the second relation, we expect 2 goals in total, as you can see right here, and a 2-1 possible scoreline as well. They coincide to the first one. Right to the conceding rate, we expect a 3-2 conceding rate, meaning they've got relatively higher conceding rates, both teams. And expected goals, we expect a 2-0 possible scoreline and a 2-1 possible scoreline, both of them in favor of Team 1. Right to the relation, we expect no relation for the 100%. We have got an of 1.5 relation for the 90%. And do we have any for the 80s? We've got 2 of 1.5 relations for the 80s, and a both team to score as well for the 80% relation. So what are we going to pick in this game? We are actually going to settle with over 1.5 being the backbone. What do you expect? Do we do you expect the over 2.5 in this game? Let's counter check. In this relation, we expect they've been having, both of these teams have not outdone their conceding rates. You see, both of those games, teams have not outdone their conceding rate, because while at home, team 1 conceded 2.4 while scoring 2, and while away, team 2 conceded 2 while scoring only 1. On average, those ones I'm saying on average on their past 5 home and away games. So what do we expect? We can as well expect the over 2.5, and that one is at least what we can expect in that prediction, right? So that's the prediction for that fourth game. So to the fifth game, we've got in Serbia, Habit Farm Javor versus Radnik Sudulika. This game we expect at 1-1 possible scoreline. That's a total of 2. Right to the second relation, we expect 2 goals in total and a 1-1 possible scoreline as well. As we go to the conceding rate, we expect a 0-1 conceding rate, relatively lower. Each of them a little bit almost equal, but they have got very, very good defensive record. We expect a 1-0 possible scoreline and a 1-1 possible scoreline as well in that game. What do we have on this? In the relation, we've got an of 1.5 relation for the 100%, a double chance 1 or 2 relation for the 100% as well, no relation for the 90%. Right to the 80s, we've got an of 1.5 relation expected for the 80% relations. Alright, so what do we expect in this game? For the idea that we expect the over 1.5, which is backed on the 100%, which is also backed by the over 1.5 relation for the 80s, we can as well go for the over 1.5, but as well you can also pick the double chance 1 or 2, because much like this that we do not expect the over 2.5s and the rest is a game that that goes on someone winning at the end of the game, you see. But see, team 1 is relatively stronger now at home, because in their last game they actually scored 2 goals and won it on 2-0. You see, their last home game they won 2-0, so they might be a little bit confident while coming to this game. Team 2 as well, while playing away, scored 3 goals. That means that they might be a little bit confident while coming to this game, so we also expect goals in the game. So what do you expect? The over 1.5, and as well pick the double chance 1 or 2. Why? Because a match like this that we don't expect a lot of goals, someone might win on only 2-0 or maybe 1-0, or probably we can't say 1-0 because we expect the over 1.5. Someone might win on this game with 2-0 at most, at least. Alright, so that's the prediction for that game. So to the next game, we've got in Denmark, we've got Skive IK versus Tisted FC. This game expected 3-0 possible scoring. That's in favor of team 1. That's a total of 3 right there. Right to the next relation, you expect 2 goals in that game, and you expect a 2-0 possible scoring in favor of team 1. Right to the conceding rate, you expect a 1-1 conceding rate. This one tells you that both of them have got almost equal conceding rates, you see, because a 1-1 conceding rate but relatively lower. So we don't expect the 5 goals and the 6 goals in the game. We expect something about 3 goals, or maybe 2-1, 2-2, something such as that scoreline. So we don't expect one of those teams to come and bust, but this football, it might happen. So what do you expect on the expected goals? You expect a 2-1 possible scoreline and a 2-0 possible scoreline. Right to the relation, you expect a full team 1. We expect team 1 to win in that relation, that game. An over 1.5 relation, or 1.5 for the 100% as well, and also the full team 1. Right to the 90%, we've got none, and as we go to the 80%, you've got 2 double chance 1 or 2 relation for this game, you see. So for such relationship, we might take the full team 1, but remember guys, we usually try to avoid the full team 1 because it usually does not bring the desired results always. Maybe probably for this automated version, it might give the desired results, but the double chance 1 or 2 is relatively safer. Remember, it's also a 2 option market, and the full team market is a 3 option market, you see. So you don't want to see team 2 scoring 1 goal, and then you probably still expect team 1 to win, and then all of a sudden you see team 1 scoring, and you're thinking, oh, so team 1 is going to win in that game, and they end up ending at 1-1 scoring. But the double chance 1 or 2 is relatively a little bit safer. It says it goes on someone winning or probably a draw, you see. So we're going to put our bet on the double chance 1 or 2. Sure. So let's go into the next game. So in the next game, we've got in Poland, we've got Wikielek versus Unai Skienawais. This game, expect a 1-2 possible scoreline. That's a total of 3. Right to the second relation, expect total of 2 and a 1-2 possible scoreline. They concede with the first one. Right to the conceding rate, you expect a 1-2 conceding rate, where team 2 is the one that seems to concede relatively higher than team 1. And you expect a 1-3 expected goals and a 1-2 expected goals. Now see the contradiction right here. The team that we expect to concede relatively high is the team that we expect to score the highest in that game. That one tells you something, that we might expect goals in that game. This is a game that might rain a lot of goals. Not a lot of goals, just about team to score. Alright, so the over 1.5 for the 100%, you've got none. For the 90%, you've got the over 1.5 relation, and for the 80%, you've got 2 over 1.5 relations and a both team to score a relation right there. So for the benefit of the contradiction that we see here, the over 2.5 emphasized on the 80% and the both team to score as well, and the over 1.5 relation also at the 80%, and the fact that in the expected goals you expect team 2 to win. What about team 1? Team 1 might as well score a goal in the game, you see. So let's go and pick the over 1.5 and also pick the both team to score. You can as well go with the over 2.5 if you are confident with that, but that is what we are going to pick for that game. Alright, so let's go into the next game. In the next game, we've got in Italy, we've got Audace Seringota versus AS Sorrento Calcio. This game we expect a 2-1 possible score, and there's a total of 3. Right to the second relation, we expect a total of 2 and a 2-1 possible scoreline as well. Right to the conceding rate, we expect a 0-2 conceding rate, where team 2 is the one that we expect to concede relatively higher, but team 1 concedes relatively low. We expect a 1-1 possible scoreline and 2-1 possible scoreline as well in that game. When we come to the 100% relation, we expect a full team 1 and an over 1.5 relation. We've got no relation for the 90%. What do we have for the 80s? You've got 2 double chance 1 or 2 relation for the 80%. So what are we going to pick for this prediction? For this game, you might as well take the double chance 1, just the full team 1. I wanted to mean the full team 1, but the backbone for this prediction, you're going to pick the double chance 1 or 2. You see, you can as well expect full team 1 winning. You might as well come and back it up in this prediction, full team 1 winning, and the idea that there will be an over 1.5 in that game. You see, but see, the over 1.5 and the double chance 1 or 2 have got a relatively higher winning chance, you see, than picking the full team 1. So it's better to go for the safer, almost the safer option than taking a much riskier option, which is the full team 1, and it's much safer taking the double chance 1 or 2. So with that, that's the prediction for that game. Let's go into the next game. So in the next game, we've got in Ireland, we've got Waterford United versus Drogheda United. This game we expect a 1-2 possible scoreline. There's a total of 3. But you expect 2 goals in total and a 1-2 possible scoreline. Right to the first relation, to the conceding rates, we've got a 2-2 conceding rate, relatively higher and relatively equal for both. So if team 1 scores, then team 2 can as well score, and if team 2 scores, then team 1 can as well score. What do we have for the expected goals? We expect a 1-2 possible scoreline and a 1-2 possible scoreline in favor of team 2, both of them. Right to the 100%, we've got no relation. For the 90%, we've got an over 1.5 relation, and when we go to the 80%, we've got 2 over 1.5 and a both team to score relation for that. So what are we going to pick for this prediction? For the higher conceding rates, I'm going to take an over 1.5 to be the backbone for this. This is the pillar for that prediction. Picking the both team to score won't be bad, because if team 2 has to score, then team 1 can as well score. See their scoring ability. In the previous 5 games at home, they actually scored in all of games apart from 1. See, but they have also conceded in all of those games, and this team 2, while away, they have actually scored in all of those games, and they have conceded in 4 of them, their last 4, but have not conceded in only 1. You see, so the both team to score could be possible, and also over 2.5 if you wish to, but let's just pick the both team to score and the over 1.5 as the prediction for that game. You can as well go for the both for the over 2.5, but let's stick for the over 1.5 and the both team to score. All right, so sure, let's go to the next game. So in the next game, we still have got in Ireland, we've got Bray Wanderers versus Finn Harps. This game we expect our 3-1 possible scoreline. That's a total of 4. Right to the second relation, we expect 3 goals in total and a 2-1 possible scoreline. There is a collision right there. Right to the conceding rate, we expect a 0-2 conceding rate, where team 2 is the one that concedes relatively higher. And to the expected goals, we expect a full 2-1 and a 2-1 in favor of team 1. Right to the relations, we've got none for the 100%. We've got an over 1.5 relation for the 90s, and when we come to this side for the 80s, you've got a double chance 1 or 2 relation for the 80s. So what are we going to pick for this prediction? For the idea that do we have any contradiction? No, we don't have. But for the idea that we expect goals in this game, we might as well pick someone winning. So the double chance 1 or 2 is something that we are going to pick for that game, you see. So that's the prediction for that game as we have it right there. And as well, let's see if we expect someone winning. Let's go and see this side. So for this game we expect a 2-1 scoreline, so we expect team 1 to win, but we might not pick team 1 winning in that game, but we just expect team 1 winning, someone winning this game. So that is the prediction for that. So the double chance 1 or 2 is our prediction for that game as well. So for this last game, we've got in Ireland, we expect Athlone versus Cork City. We expect a 1-3 possible score, and there's a total of 4. For the first relation, we expect a 3 goals in total for the second, and a 1-3 possible score. And for that, we expect a 1-1 conceding rate, and a 1-3 possible scoreline, and a 1-2 possible scoreline. That one tells you something, that if team 2 actualizes the 3 goals on the 2 goals as they are being predicted right here, then team 1 can as well score in that game because they've got equal conceding rates, you see. So for the 100%, we've got no relation. For the 90%, we've got no relations. For the 80%, we've got as well no relation. So for such game like this that we have got, we expect goals, but we've got no relations. For the 100%, for the 90s, and as well for the 80s, we normally go with someone winning in that game. These are the 2 pillars for that prediction, and an over 1.5. Alright, so those are the 2 predictions for that game. So guys, those have been our 11 predictions. Those are the predictions that we've had. If you feel that you need more predictions, you're going to find them from our Telegram channel. We are going to actually drop the link to the Telegram channel at the Discord, at the description of this video. You're going to find it right there, so ensure that you go and click it and join our Telegram fan base for Phylum Predicts. So these predictions that we have actually given you, we expect wins, we expect a very high winning rate, and remember, bet responsibly. Do not stake money that you're not willing to lose, and that's one rule. And the second rule is, for the predictions that we're giving you, these are data backed predictions, the data driven predictions. You can as well find some little bit of sentiments for them, you see. So try checking if by your analysis they fall on the same category or the same prediction, and if they do, you've got your prediction that is backed with your analysis and also the Phylum analysis. All right, and then the other rule is, don't overload your bet slip. You see, don't put all these games at once. Don't put all the 11 games in one betting slip. Just put 3 or 4 games and target 2 or 3 odds, and I tell you guys, you'll find yourself having a very a better winning rate than taking 11 games in that betting ticket, you see. So take at most 4, recommended 3, and settle for the 2 odds or the 3 odds that you'll find right there, and actually do this as an investment and not just something that you're doing for just for fun. You can as well do it for fun, but remember, bet responsibly, you see. So those have been our predictions today. The rest you're going to find from our Telegram channel, and until tomorrow, bye bye. I wish you all the best.